Hello, Chris from My Stamp Lady here today to share with you this graduation card that doubles as a money holder. So you just pull this little piece out and there's a spot for you to put in a check or cash. So to start with, you have a piece of 7¼ inch by 7 inches piece of cardstock, and then you will score at 2 inches and then again over at 5¼ inches on the 7¼ inch side. We have a piece of Night of Navy that measures 11 inches by 3 inches. Along the 11-inch side or edge, score at 4 inches. This piece is going to be our little pull-out piece. So I'm pulling back in my outside or my smoky slate piece here and folding and pressing those score lines that I made earlier to form the outside. Open back up the flaps, take the wide oval punch or large oval punch and slip the top center piece just in about a third of the way into the punch it out to make a little cut mark or a little thumb hole or thumb grab for your card. So this is how you'll pull it out. Next, you need to add some adhesive. I add it along the bottom edge of one side, and then on my other side, I am going to add it along the bottom edge and one of the side edges. I'm using a really thin sticky adhesive here, but you could also use liquid glue. Liquid glue would work really well. You just want adhesive that isn't going to be too wide. You don't want it to take up too much space on the inside. So once I've put down this adhesive, and I will remove the top and then close it all together. With that 11 by 3 inch piece, I'm folding it on my 4-inch score mark, and this will be the piece that'll slide in and out. Before I seal up this left side, I'm going to take one of the oval framelits and I'm going to give a curve to the top of this edge. So I've already marked my oval here with a couple of pencil marks that will show it where to line up. So, and then I've tucked one portion of the oval underneath my paper so it will not cut. And I'm working on lining up these pencil marks with the edges. Pad over the top, roll it part the way through. You don't want to go through both the top and bottom of the oval because otherwise you'll get a mark in your blue cardstock. So you just go part way in and then roll it back out. I'm going to do the same thing with my white cardstock, just to get a curved top edge that is similar to my Night of Navy cardstock. So again, I place the bottom of the die underneath the cardstock, the top of the die over the cardstock, and try to line it up between those two pencil marks that I have made so that my curved top edge will be similar to my Night of Navy piece. And again, roll that through part way and then back it back out so that I don't go over the bottom of that oval die that's under the cardstock. And then I have a similar curve and that will line up. So I set aside the white piece and now I need to put that adhesive along the one edge of the top just so I can slip the money or check inside. So I'm using my narrow adhesive again, or else you could use a liquid glue. Just pull off that top here, in this case, pull off that top strip and then burnish that down. Next part, I'm going to do the tassel. So I'm pulling this out a little bit and I put it inside the little outer case just so I could see where I was punching this 1/8 inch circle. Punch that out, and I wanted to make sure I didn't go through my outside there. And now I pull in 4 pieces of this smoky slate twine. It's a thicker twine, and I took each of those 4 pieces and split them into 3 pieces so it would be a little bit thinner. I'm pulling off 1 piece, so 3 strands. I'm going to line up the remaining strands kind of in a pile, pick up one of these separated strands, thread it through the hole, right down on the edge of the cardstock. So I run it through, I just kind of wrap it around itself, push it through, and I pull. And as I pull, I hold that knot so that it'll be right above the edge of the cardstock. Now I'm going to separate the 2 tails and find the middle of my layered strands that are over off to the side. And after I find the middle here, kind of lay that over the center, I'm going to tie those 2 strands that are wrapped around it into a double knot. So tie it once, and then after I get that tied, I will put just 1 more knot in place to hold those threads. Okay, after you do that, you can just kind of pull, like fold over your extra strands and kind of smooth them out so that they lay flat like that. One of your other extra threads and wrap it around a few times. So I'm just holding it on the end here and making sure I get a good hold on that. Let's see, I'll grab that again, kind of a little bit thin there, but wrap it around about 3 times, 4 times, and then double tie that again. So just going to tie that off so that it'll hold that tassel shape for me. I will just trim off those extra little tails there, and once I get done trimming these, I'll trim the end to make it straight across. You want it nice and neat on the end and not ragged. There you go. There's your tassel. Okay, let's stamp the way to go for the inside piece. So just inking up a Night of Navy, we're going to stamp that right on the inside, and that's all I put on the inside. If you want to go ahead and add some more, go for it. Now for the top, I am using this brick embossing folder, and because I don't want my words to go into those grooves I just pointed out, I'm going to stamp the words first. So the congratulations, I'm inking it up with Night of Navy and just stamping that down right on the front. And I have my congratulations up and down. I have here from the BYOP set, Bring Your Own Present set. It already has the congratulations, but I just want the grad portion, so I'm using a marker. I'm using the basic gray marker and coloring that in. I made it go a little faster so you didn't have to watch me color that all in with the marker, and then just kind of huff on that and stamp it underneath the congratulations. And because it's photopolymer, it's nice. You can see right through that, and you can see where you're stamping. Now I'm pulling in that brick wall embossing folder, and you want to make sure the Sizzix is face up if you want your brick wall. Otherwise, you get kind of a reverse look. Notice how I have the bricks placed. If I want the bricks to run the other direction, I would just flip it, but I do want my bricks to run horizontal across the front. So I've lined that up. I'm going to add an extra or another acrylic plate and run that through. To finish this graffiti look, I have a star from the watercolor word set, and I'm stamping that in Soft Sky for the background. Now I'm taking the splatter look from the Gorgeous Grunge set, and I am inking it up in Smoky Slate, but I'm stamping it off so it'll be a little softer. I want it more background than the focus, so to get that softer color, stamp it off on your background or your scrap paper, and then go back and stamp it on the front. Now we're going to assemble. I glued that down, going to glue the front down, and I'm using the Fast Fuse. I love that. It's a nice strong adhesive. Just be sure to break the glue before you put it down, or you might have a little string. So put that down on the front. Slide that money holder part right back in here. So I'll pick that up. You'll see that there is a little pocket here that the one side just adhered or glued together so that it'll hold whatever you put in there. And this just slips right into that case, and there you go. So I decided I wanted to add a little more to the front, so I am pulling in some of the silver sequin trim, and I'm just going to take off 3 individual sequins and place those on the front, and then I will also grab my fine tip glue, glue those down, and be ready to go for my next graduation. I might have to make a fun little envelope for this with the envelope punch board. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me at chris@mystamplady.com, and all of these supplies are available in my online store at shopwithmystamplady.com. Be sure to come by my blog, mystamplady.com, to download the instructions for this card. Hello, Chris from My Stamp Lady, and I'm here today to share with you the Balloon Celebration Bundle. It comes with this fun stamp set and then a punch to punch out the larger balloon and the smaller balloon. So I'm going to show you some tips and tricks while I put a card together today. I'm starting with a card base. My fabulous thick white cardstock is the base. I cut that in half and folded it in half to make my base. I love the weight of this cardstock. And then a piece